right, we're very proud to introduce Raymond W. Belair Esq. of Belair and Evans in New York City. Raymond is a special friend of our movement through the years, and we're happy to have him here today.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me back there? That's a good start. Before I discuss what the legal and constitutional problems about the mandate are, let's be clear about what the problem is not. It is not about preventing access to contraception. For years, the government has been spending $2 billion a year on family planning services, and if anyone cannot afford it, they can get it for free, without any charge. Supporters of Obamacare concede this point when they claim that the majority of American women use or have used contraception. So with or without Obamacare, there will continue to be easy access to contraception. Now, what this is about is Obamacare's mandate that our religious organizations are forced to become agents of the government in providing insurance for sterilization, abortion-inducing drugs, and contraception, all of which are contrary to our core religious teachings. In other words, the church is being forced to cooperate in providing precisely those things which it teaches are morally evil. Not satisfied with that attack on our First Amendment religious freedom, the government has also decided to redefine the free exercise of religion. A quote-unquote religious exemption from the mandate is defined so narrowly that not even our Lord himself would qualify for it. In the case of religious employers, unless the employer primarily employs people of the same faith to teach the same values to the already faithful, there would be no exception to the mandate. Therefore, religious charities, colleges, hospitals, and multiple social services would be unprotected. They would be coerced to violate their conscience to provide the insurance company, to provide the insurance coverage. The church's religious mission for the first time would be redefined and reduced by imposing secular values of government on religious institutions. For the first time, the freedom of religious organizations to live out their religious missions would be eliminated. Cardinal Dolan has very accurately described this as a strangling limitation on the free exercise of religion. People of faith appropriately view the exercise of their religious freedom more broadly than attendance at church once a week. And this has always been the case in the United States of America until now. Our Lord's ministry applied to all in need of help, not merely to the faithful. His work extended outside the temple itself. So too does the church's ministry extend today. In caring for the sick and in feeding the hungry, the church has never asked first whether a needy soul was a Catholic or not. This is the fullness of the free exercise of our religious freedom. Now, this strangling limitation and government interference in religious organizations is just what the First Amendment prohibits. This is a profound violation of religious freedom. Now, freedom of religion, which is more accurately the free exercise of religion, is protected by the First Amendment to the Constitution and other federal laws. And from our nation's birth, we have enjoyed freedom from government interference in this free exercise. And this is how people of faith have always carried out their ministry, and from the very beginning this was expected. And please, please, be careful when you hear mandate supporters say that Obamacare will honor freedom of worship rather than freedom of religion. Freedom of worship are code words. They're code words for a reduced religious freedom, limited to the confines of a house of worship and never to be admitted to the public square. But to say such a thing is to attempt to rewrite American history and to rewrite constitutional history. Historically, the Founding Fathers expected that people of faith would be able to express their beliefs beyond the confines of a church. They were encouraged to do so. This is how they live out their faith. Now, for the first time in American history, we have an administration which has decided that when it disagrees with certain religious and moral practices, it will force people to act against their consciences, and it will redefine for them what religion can mean for them. This cannot and will not be allowed to stand. Once religion is reduced, as the mandate reduces it, to the role of a mere tool of government, the place of freedom and the fabric of constitutional government have been torn apart. If one administration, the current one, can limit the exercise of religion in this way, it is only a matter of time until another administration will attempt to find a way to do it in some other area. It is for precisely this reason that 43 faith-based organizations with differing beliefs and differing values have brought legal actions against the limitation on religious freedom which the Health and Human Services mandate creates. 43 faith-based organizations. It is ironic, however, that among the 43 is the University of Notre Dame. In 2009, during a Notre Dame commencement speech, the current president promised, quote, sensible conscience clauses to exempt religious organizations from morally problematic programs. We're still waiting. But in contrast to that view, and as I close, let's take a look at another American's view of the connection between religion and government. And I quote, of all the dispositions and habits which lead to political prosperity, religion and morality are indispensable supports. In vain would that man claim the tribute of patriotism who would labor to subvert these great pillars of human happiness, these firmest props of the duties of men and citizens. The mere politician, equally with the pious man, ought to respect and cherish them. A volume could not trace all their connections with public and private faithfulness, unquote. That was the farewell address of George Washington to his troops. I respectfully suggest that our first president understood the place of religious freedom in America much better than the current president does. What do you think? Thanks very much.